Welcome to Orthodox World This Week, Orthodox News in Digital Space. I'm your host, Abel Matthews Alex. Let's see what happened in the Orthodox world last week. Killed like chicken. Abuna Matthias condemns the brutal massacre of over 500 ethnic Amharas in Oromia regional state. Abuna Matthias, the patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, condemned on Thursday, June 23, 2022, the brutal massacre of more than 500 ethnic Amharas in western Woliga zone of the Oromia regional state. The patriarch described the barbaric act that an eyewitness equated to the being killed like chickens, which took place on Saturday, June 18, 2022, as an ethnic cleansing. The victims of the slaughter were mostly Muslim women and children. His Holiness, in his message of condolence, termed those who were killed as martyrs, since they were slain for just being creatures of God. In the same statement, the primate called the perpetrators of heinous deeds in which pregnant women were sliced open as direct opponents of God. Abuna Matthias has also expressed his grief over attacks on civilians in Gambale, which happened in some same week. Such brutality has become a norm in Ethiopia, particularly in Woliga, since the current administration took power. The culprits were identified, the victims that survived, as Oromia Liberation Front guerrilla fighters that were aided by local officials and militia. The UN has called for an investigation into the matter, while different powers like United States of America and Iran expressed their grief over the loss of life. Over 150 cultural sites destroyed in Ukraine, reports UNESCO. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, in a recent press release, stated that 150 cultural sites have been partially or fully destroyed in Ukraine since the beginning of war. This includes 70 religious buildings, 30 historical buildings, and 18 cultural centers, 15 monuments, and 12 museums and 7 libraries. The majority of the destruction has took place in Donetsk, Kharkiv, and Kiev. Adure Sulizi, the UNESCO Director General, stated that these repeated attacks on Ukraine cultural sites must stop. Cultural heritage in all its forms should not be targeted under any circumstances. I retaliate my call for the respect of international humanitarian law, in particular Hague Convention for the protection of cultural property in the event of armed conflict. UNESCO is implementing a series of emergency measures to prevent such distractions. Bulgarian Orthodox Church welcomes Macedonian Church into canonical communion. On the 21st of June 2022, the Synod of Bulgarian Orthodox Church considered letters from Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew and Serbian Patriarch Porphyrion regarding the canonical status of the Orthodox Church of Northern Macedonia. The members of the Synod joyfully welcomed the decisions to end the schism and enter into canonical and Eucharistic communion with the Orthodox Church of Northern Macedonia. It was noted, however, that the Orthodox Church in Northern Macedonia remains to be considered the Macedonian Orthodox Church is the largest Christian church in Northern Macedonia, formerly within the Serbian Orthodox Patriarchate. By June 2022, with the issuance of the Tomos and Synodal Act by the Ecumenical Patriarchate and by the issuance of Tomos of Autocephaly by the Serbian Patriarchate, the Macedonian Orthodox Church Ohrid Archbishopric have become an autocephalous Orthodox Church within the Eastern Orthodox Communion. Christian leaders in Jerusalem inspects the progress of work at the Church of Scripture. Patriarch Theophilus of Jerusalem and other Christian leaders from Armenian Orthodox and Catholic churches inspected the renovation works and maintenance of the floor of Rotoda around the sacred edicule on 16th of June 2022. The work is being carried out by the University Sapientia of Rome. The renovation project will extend up to 26 months. This is the second phase of the work that is being carried out. The first phase consisted on the successful renovation of Edukili, which was completed by the National University of Athens. Patriarch Porphyrinch of Serbia welcomed in northern Macedonia. Patriarch Porphyrinch of Serbia and the Serbian Orthodox delegations arrived on 20th June 2022 at the Kalista Monastery in Strug, where Archbishop Stefan of Ohrid and the Macedonian archbishops, priests, and monks, and hundreds of faithful solemnly welcomed the delegation. The monastery, dedicated to the birth of the Most Holy Mother of God in the village of Kiliste on the shores of Lake Ohrid, west of Struga, is adorned with a miraculous icon of the Mother of God. The Patriarch and the Serbian delegation also visited the Church of Saint Clement and Saint Panteleimonin in the village of Palonisk on the shores of Lake Ohrid. The Macedonian Orthodox Church is the largest Christian church in northern Macedonia, formerly with the Serbian Orthodox Church. By the issuance of Thomos and Synodal Act by the Ecumenical Patriarchate and the issuance of Thomos by autocephaly by the Serbian Patriarchate, the Macedonian Orthodox Church has become an autocephalous Orthodox Church within the Eastern Orthodox community. That's all for the week. Thank you for watching Orthodoxy Cognate page. Hope you see you in the next week.